Everybody wants to be an it girl, but there's a dark side to it that people don't talk about. People love you when you're pretty, magnetic, the center of attention, but the moment people love you too much, they start to turn. In this video, we're talking about what really happens when you become that girl, why they love you, why they switch up, and what it says about them, not you. Welcome back to Girlhood Daily. I'm Helen, and today we're going to be talking about the dark side of pretty privilege and the inevitable downfall of the it girl. Okay, so what is an it girl? She's someone who effortlessly draws attention, sets trends, and becomes the standard without even trying. She has this effortless magnetic energy. She walks into a room and people just notice her. She's usually somebody that everyone thinks is beautiful or attractive, maybe charming and stylish. She's definitely socially dominant, but she doesn't have to try too hard. Think like Serena Vanderwoodson from Gossip Girl. She was definitely considered an it girl because people just loved her wherever she went, even though she wasn't trying too hard. This girl definitely shows up everywhere. In high school, she's a pretty popular girl who's somehow friends with everybody. She's usually into sports, all the guys like her, and everybody wants to be her friend. You can also find this kind of woman at work. Maybe in the office, she's the pretty charismatic one that everybody gravitates towards. It seems like she's really good at her job, but even if she's not that great at her job, everyone loves her, so it doesn't matter. So why do people love this kind of girl so much? At first, they admire her. The it girl becomes like a safe fantasy for people. People love her because she feels both aspirational and accessible. She's someone that people want to be next to. But with the it girl, there's this honeymoon phase where everyone's cheering her on. They repost her, quote her, mimic her style, maybe even obsess over her. People use her to feel inspired, not insecure, at least in the beginning. Let's talk about some celebrity it girls that we've seen the last few years. During the uprising of Sabrina Carpenter's career, people loved her because she was like this perfect embodiment of playful feminism. Her ability to showcase a balance between being sexual and playful was really refreshing, and she gained so many new fans from her tour with Taylor Swift. Just about every girl on TikTok probably came across her viral videos whenever she started making those fun outros for her song Nonsense.
He said that it's bigger than a moon man. Guess that means I'm holding it with two hands. VMAs, I love you, I'm a huge fan.
On top of showing this fun side of herself in her performances, people loved her new aesthetic that she was showcasing. I think at some point during 2023 to 2024, you could not escape a Sabrina Carpenter makeup tutorial. You could also argue that she played a heavy influence when it came to everyone's blush obsession the last few years, and so there was born a pop it girl. Who else could be considered an it girl? The most loved, the most hated, the most controversial, the it girl, Hailey Bieber. Hailey, as a teenager, was signed to Ford Models while also being friends with A-list celebrities like Kylie and Kendall Jenner. And at some point, she was on many campaigns, many runways. I feel like she was everywhere, especially in the 2016 era. Then later marrying Justin Bieber and starting a skincare company called Rhode, which is now a billion-dollar company. Whether you like her or not, Hailey Bieber is definitely always trending for her makeup looks, especially the clean girl era. If you search clean girl aesthetic, clean girl makeup, clean girl hairstyle, Hailey Bieber will appear. Other celebrity it girls would definitely include Zendaya, Tyla, Alex Earl, Madison Beer, etc. So why do people inevitably switch up on the girl that's beautiful, popular, and successful, even though yesterday they loved her? Not even celebrities are safe. At first they adored you. You were the it girl, the moment. You were fun to hype up, but eventually your presence became a problem. Not because you changed, but because they did. They loved you when you were just a pretty face on their feed. But once you started showing up too much, too many likes, too many reposts, too many praises, they got tired. Now all of a sudden they're saying, oh, she's everywhere, she's overhyped, she's trying too hard, she's not even that special. They loved when you were confident, but now they're saying you're full of yourself. At first they loved your style and the way that you dress, but now they're saying, can she switch it up? She's so basic. At some point they start to hate you for the exact reason they loved you. They'll cheer for you when it feels fun and harmless, but the minute the attention sticks too long, they turn. People love the poses that Sabrina Carpenter was doing on tour for her song Juno. They loved the outros to Nonsense whenever she was first going viral, but now the same things that they love, they hate. Now they're too inappropriate, too cringe, she's too over-sexualized. I mean, you can argue back and forth about whether it is true or not, but the whole point is that you enjoyed it before, but now you hate it. But it's the same content. The content never changed. Your mind just changed about her. The same case with Hailey Bieber. For months, she was the blueprint for the clean girl aesthetic. But once the trend passed, people are saying it's boring, it's basic. It's funny because she never pushed the trend or asked to be the face of the clean girl aesthetic. Social media did. That's the downside of being the it girl. You could just be effortlessly yourself and people will be inspired by it. But that's the thing, you never asked to be anyone's inspiration. You're just influential without even trying to. But the problem is that when the trend passes, people don't just drop the aesthetic and move on. They always have to attack the girl that it's attached to. This makes me think about that time with Jada Cheeves, also known as Jada Waita. Definitely an it girl, especially in the pretty black girl community. She is someone else who is just an it girl. I don't care if you like her or not. If she wears something, it will trend. I mean, whether she likes it or not, she is an influencer. Earlier in 2025, she got her hair done and people started calling them Jada Waita braids. And obviously, this is not a new hairstyle. I used to get this hairstyle done when I was just a little girl. So obviously, she received backlash about this, saying that she was not the originator. These are not Jada Waita braids. It just didn't sit right with a lot of people that people were calling them Jada Waita braids. But it's funny because she never claimed for them to be her braids or for her to be the creator of the hairstyle.
Why am I getting dragged? I'm not on here saying these the Jada such and such and such. I simply just go get my hair done. And we don't give a that you was wearing your hair like that when you were 8. People want their hair like that now because they saw Jada wear their hair like that.
And that is the downside of being the it girl. You can just be being yourself and you can't help that you influence other people. And with that kind of influence and love, there are many, many haters, people who don't like it. And that brings me to my next point. There might be many people who like you. You might be the popular girl that everybody likes at school, at work, the new influencer, the new pop star it girl that people love. But there are many people who never liked you to begin with. There might be a lot of people who love Sabrina Carpenter's sexual, playful side. They started hating her for the same reason they loved her, but there are also people who never liked that to begin with. You might not just be somebody's cup of tea or their style or somebody that they like. The reason why you didn't receive any hate to begin with is because at that time it was not socially acceptable for people to dislike you. Nobody wants to be the person that dislikes somebody that everyone else loves. The minute it becomes socially acceptable for people to not like you, then people will say what they've been holding in this whole time. That's when you start hearing stuff like, oh, I always knew there was something off about her. I don't know why everybody ever liked her. I feel like Beyonce is a great example of this. I don't know what kind of crack Beyonce puts in her music, but if you ever utter the words, I don't like Beyonce, you're done. It's not socially acceptable to dislike her. And I say that as a Beyonce fan. Now, there probably will come a day where people turn on her because that's what happens to the it girl or to someone who's powerful, especially a woman. Then all of a sudden there will be so many people saying, oh, I never liked Beyonce. That's just a part of life. There will be people who love you, people who hate you, and then people who pretend to love you until it's socially acceptable to hate you. Okay, now moving on, let's talk about pretty privilege. We've all heard about pretty privilege. If you're pretty, then you've experienced pretty privilege, how attractive people get better service, more attention, or are perceived as more trustworthy than other people. Being pretty gets doors open for you, but what no one talks about is what happens after you walk through those doors. This is when people start to experience what's called pretty punishment. Pretty punishment is definitely a real thing. People will definitely undermine you. They will try to humble you in any situation. Many women experience this at work. For example, you can't be pretty and smart. If you're the pretty girl in the office and you get promoted, people will say, oh, she must have slept with the boss or something. The same thing, sadly, even with young girls, high school girls. If there's a pretty girl, nobody could believe she's a virgin. She has to be ran through or she has to have slept with so many guys. People have this negative perception about you, oh, she must be mean or she must think she's better than everyone else. Once you're pretty, it's you can't be pretty and smart or educated or talented. People always undermine your achievements just because of the way that you look. Megan Fox is a perfect example of pretty punishment. She was the it girl, the hot girl in the 2000s, and every guy was obsessed with her. Every girl wanted to look like her. But sadly, that's all she was ever allowed to be. Hollywood would only cast her as the hot girl, the sexy side character, never anything serious. Megan Fox is extremely talented and she's a great actor, but people could never take her seriously. They only ever sexualized her. Whenever she would speak up about her experience of being sexualized or maybe harassed or undermined, people completely turned on her. They called her crazy, difficult. It's like they just wanted her to shut up and be happy that people even found her attractive or that she even got a job to begin with. That is pretty punishment. So then what do you do when this happens to you? When the compliments stop, the eye rolls start, people go from admiring you to dissecting everything you say, wear, and post. First, you need to stop explaining yourself. You really don't have to argue with people who already decided that they don't like you. Let them whisper, let them talk, let them twist the narrative however they want, because the real power isn't proving them wrong. It's not about needing their approval in the first place. Just keep showing up, working hard, and being undeniable. Anyway, it doesn't matter because people love you and then they hate you and then they love you again, they hate you again. Same thing with Hailey Bieber. They love her, they hate her. Sabrina Carpenter, they hate her, they love her, they love her, they hate her. Ariana Grande, you name it, any celebrity. I think Zendaya might be the only celebrity that's like safe. But this is not just celebrities. This is everyday girls. The girl in high school, the girl at work. People love her, then they hate her, then they love her again. It's a toxic cycle that has nothing to do with who you actually are. So stop trying to manage their perception. The right people will see you, they will love you, and more importantly, they won't judge you. But I should add that sometimes we do things that are crappy as humans. So if you find yourself always in a situation where people don't like you, or you know what I mean, it's still good to self-reflect and not just write everyone off as a hater. Let's just try to be the best person that we can be. Now, before I conclude the video, let's just be honest about one thing. Not all of us have been the it girl. Not all of us can be the it girl. Some of us have been the girl on the other side. The one watching the it girl get attention and silently asking ourselves, like, why can't that be me? Why am I not good enough for people to love? We all experience feelings of jealousy and envy. There's always going to be a girl prettier than us. Always going to be a girl more popular than you. I have definitely experienced envy firsthand in my life. There was once this girl and she was so much prettier than me. She had perfect hair. She always received the opportunities that I wanted. And I feel like that made me so jealous. And secretly, I was like secretly celebrating those times when she was humbled. And it definitely takes a lot of being honest with yourself and self-reflection to overcome that. And I think that's something that more and more people need to talk about because nobody wants to ever admit that they're jealous of someone. The truth is, being the it girl isn't just about looking good. It comes with pressure, projection, punishment, whether you've been her or envied her or even both. It's something that most women experience one way or another. But at the end of the day, the goal isn't to be universally loved. It's to be authentic, to be yourself, and to make people happy. Wait, I meant to say to make yourself happy. Make yourself happy. Be a good person. Okay, well, this has been Girlhood Daily. This is Helen. Thank you so much for watching.